The last few years, Keith Tobias and I in particular have been talking a lot about crankbaits and fishing walleyes and other species of fish really with crankbaits. One of the baits that you hear all the time coming out of our mouth is flicker shad. Flicker shad, flicker shad. There's a reason for that. The bait itself has been around now for about 6 or 7 years. It was a high design bait. And what I mean by that is that the Berkley crew, their R&D crew, allowed Keith and I to help build this bait from scratch and work on the actions. And crankbait actions are where it's at. It's really critical to have the right action to catch a lot of fish. We spent a couple of years in the design of the flicker shad. There are many sizes now. There's size 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. But it took over 2 years to get the actions of this bait right. Because one of the things that we wanted to do as tournament anglers, not television guys, but tournament anglers, was to have a bait that would catch fish better than pretty much anything else out there. Have a bait that would trip the trigger of these game fish so that they'd want to bite it more often than anything else. Track record's pretty well proven this out. This bait right here has won more money in the last 5 or 6 years than probably any other bait around. What has happened with that shad style bait is we've actually taken it to another level. This last year we added the Pro Series colors, and these are just tremendous colors. You've got a slick foil pattern and then an internal foil pattern. Been extremely successful. The tournament guys really have been using these a lot and have won a lot of money already in the last year or so. So shad style baits are really good baits. The next style bait that you look for in trying to trip the trigger of a game fish is a minnow bait. And here we have the new flicker minnows. Again, probably because of the success of the flicker shad, Berkley's design team said, hey, would you guys work with us on the minnow? So this one took 3 years. The minnow shapes take a little bit longer to nail down that action. And we fished these baits on so many bodies of water. That's why it took 3 years. There's a size 7 here and a size 9. So that goes back to the question, what bait should I get? What bait should I use? Well, we've narrowed it down to 2 basic choices in terms of what the fish will use 90% of the time. That's shad and minnow, right? Your job is not to make the fish's mind up. Your job is to give the fish what they want. And they're going to be keying in on forage that they're eating. Maybe it'll be a minnow that's this long. Maybe it'll be a shad bait that's that long. You don't know. You never know. You're not a bass. You're not a walleye. You're not a crappie. You don't know. Only they know. So your job is to carry a big enough assortment of different sizes of baits so that you can literally give them any type of profile that they're looking for. And then after you get the right size and action of bait, one of the flicker shads perhaps, or a flicker minnow at a certain size, then you start playing with the colors. You narrow it down until you find that magic lure for the day. And that's exactly how all the good tournament anglers do it, and that's exactly how all the good fishermen that I know do it. So it's kind of it seems a little unscientific, you know, you throw the box at them sort of thing. But when you're experimenting, do it with some purpose in mind. Basically think, hey, okay, they didn't bite on this size. I'm going to try a different size. They didn't bite on that profile. I'm going to try a different profile. Experiment around. Let the fish tell you the story. That's exactly what we did in all of those years of development, is we let the fish tell us the story on these baits. You do the same thing when you're on the water, and you're going to get a lot more fish.